When the White House announced that the president was going to address the nation from the Oval Office about the terrorist attacks in San Bernardino, I foolishly had great hope. I mean, why wouldn't I? In the past, presidents have given memorable speeches after this nation has been attacked.
Which will live in
speeches that are ingrained in the nation's history. And so, I naively believed that President Obama was finally going to back up his words with action and do everything in his power to crush ISIS. I couldn't have been more wrong. Instead, the president announced that he's going to continue with the same strategy against ISIS that has been woefully ineffective. And then he quickly moved on to his continued call for increased gun control, including legislation that anyone on the terrorist no-fly list be prohibited from buying a gun. Frankly, I think that's a great idea, except it has nothing to do with the attack in San Bernardino. Neither Saeed Farouk nor Tashfeen Malik, the two who slaughtered 14 in San Bernardino, were on the terrorist no-fly list. Now, needless to say, I was more than a little disappointed with the Oval Office address. I'm not even sure why he gave it, except maybe his advisors told him, you got to say something, even if you have nothing to say. Now, normally, I would have a lot more to say here, but I think I'm going to let someone else, who's much better at it, show you what a president should say in an Oval Office address after a terrorist attack. It was April 5th, 1986. A bomb went off at a crowded discotheque in West Berlin, Germany. 2 American soldiers were killed. 79 other soldiers were injured. Libya's Muammar Gaddafi was responsible, the #1 sponsor of terror at the time. 9 days later, President Reagan gave an address from the Oval Office and announced action that would end Gaddafi's reign of terror against the United States. It stands as proof that terrorists cower to strength and prey on weakness. Here is President Reagan's speech from April 14th, 1986.
7 o'clock this evening, Eastern Time, air and naval forces of the United States launched a series of strikes against the headquarters, terrorist facilities, and military assets that support Muammar Gaddafi's subversive activities. Colonel Gaddafi is not only an enemy of the United States. His record of subversion and aggression against the neighboring states in Africa is well documented and well known. He has ordered the murder of fellow Libyans in countless countries. He has sanctioned acts of terror in Africa, Europe, and the Middle East, as well as the Western Hemisphere. And for us to ignore, by inaction, the slaughter of American civilians and American soldiers, whether in nightclubs or airline terminals, is simply not in the American tradition. When our citizens are abused or attacked anywhere in the world on the direct orders of a hostile regime, we will respond so long as I'm in this Oval Office. Self-defense is not only our right, it is our duty. It is the purpose behind the mission undertaken tonight, a mission fully consistent with Article 51 of the United Nations Charter. I salute the skill and professionalism of the men and women of our armed forces who carried out this mission. It's an honor to be your commander-in-chief. Despite our repeated warnings, Gaddafi continued his reckless policy of intimidation, his relentless pursuit of terror. He counted on America to be passive. He counted wrong. I warned that there should be no place on earth where terrorists can rest and train and practice their deadly skills. I meant it. I said that we would act with others if possible and alone if necessary to ensure that terrorists have no sanctuary anywhere. Tonight, we have. Thank you, and God bless you.